You tapped in? Okay, Goose, you tapped in too? All right, Chicago, y'all tapped in? All right, boys, let's crack 'em. Feel like Mike in the fourth with the ball in my hands and I'm taking a shot. I'm the king in the madhouse on Madison, whether I make it or not. Now the crowd going crazy, they watching the play and I'm watching the clock. Got my shot in the air and the buzzer go off and I'm watching it drop. This team did things, MJ shot City 6 rings. D-Rose too big, too fast, too strong, history. And we good on that, put Jilla on the track and we good on wax. 3, 2, 1, everybody say Bulls on tap, Bulls on tap. Our city pretty and gritty, Benny the bull in the crowd getting hyper and litty. Me, I'm so drippy, it's slippery, nothing offends me. Banners on banners, we winners. We got the stats in the news, go and subscribe. Hang out with Buzzy and Goose, tapping with us, we the truth. Jilla just murdered the booth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bulls on Tap. I'm your boy Buzz. I'm joined by my dude Goose, aka Bulls Scripted. We're back in the win column. Back in the win column after a 4-game slide. The Bulls beat the Celtics and stopped, what was that, a 9-game winning streak for the Celtics? We stopped that.
Yes, and they were coming off 2 days rest too, so it wasn't a back-to-back kind of sympathy victory. The Bulls kind of had this game in hand from start to finish. Celtics just did not shoot well from three. And I believe they took over 40 attempts, so that
50.
kind of spelled over 50 attempts.
They took 50.
I didn't even think that was possible.
Well, it definitely was. Before we get into this episode, be sure to go on TapSportsNet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Bulls on Tap and on Tap Sportsnet. Following Goose at Bulls Scripted, me at Buzz on Tap. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us, 5-star rating and review because it's cool and tough. If you're on Twitter or Facebook, please go over to the YouTube, the On Tap Sportsnet YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell anytime we go live. You'll be notified. You come join us in the comments section. Goose, we needed this win so badly from a variety of reasons. 4-game losing streak, drama within the locker room. It was a big win. You know, they played well tonight. There were still some things that were a little sloppy, of course, but they played a good game tonight, and I felt like they played for – I put a tweet out there. I felt like they played for each other a little bit tonight after Zach's benching last game.
Definitely felt to be some energy coming from the sense of the fact that the wheels really were about to fall off this bus entirely. If the Bulls lost and then had to go on this road trip here against a handful of good teams, you have, some scrubs mixed in between. But for the most part, they're going to be playing teams with as good or better records than them for the foreseeable future. I believe Drew, our buddy, shared earlier that they'll be doing that through like December 22nd. Which is not a fun task to look ahead to. But tonight, despite Zach and DeMar both starting the game 2 for 7 from the field, they end up combining for 50 points, and the Bulls kind of had control the whole time.
Yeah, Zach wasn't as crisp tonight as I wanted him to be offensively, but he made up for it and made me eat my words of last episode. I said that if he is not providing anything defensively or offensively, and he's not playing any sort of defense, he provides no value out on the court. Tonight, he got his hand in the passing lane. He was really fighting over screens. He looked like Casey Johnson said. He looked pretty good defensively. He was doing everything that he possibly could, which was pretty cool. I was happy to see that. And
we actually saw him try to finish through people instead of around people a couple times tonight, too, attacking the rim really aggressively. Positive stuff to see from him. And Billy kept him in at the end of the game, and Zach hit 2 pretty big threes to keep the Bulls right around that double-digit lead to keep this handily and secure to the very end.
He made me feel better. I was bitching because he that 8-second timeline mark, that pissed me off, man. I always see that happening, and Zach is always so lackadaisical bringing the ball up the court. And he can get called that. Like Stacey's like, they call that still? Like, yeah, they do. Get your ass up the fucking court and get over the timeline. It's a rule. Just do it. Why even chance it? But when he hit that 3 in Marcus Smart's face, though, after that, I was like, okay, I like that. Cause I mean, Marcus Smart, I'd love to have Marcus Smart on my team. Don't get me wrong. But when he's on another team, that's just that is a guy that just gets under your skin. He's like a Joakim Noah type guy.
He might be worse. He
gets you don't like him, huh?
No, really. love Marcus Smart, the player, and the energy that comes with him. But as a Bulls fan, somebody that has to see them generally 4 times a year, not something that I look forward to, because he is just that junkyard dog. He's going to get into your stars, and he might be a little dirty. I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that about him.
They got 2 of those guys. I don't know that Grant Williams is necessarily dirty.
I was about to bring him up.
But Grant Williams, every game I watch Boston play, that dude is getting into it with the refs over something.
He's bitching. I was just about to say the same thing. Like, I don't watch a ton of Boston Celtic basketball on League Pass. Like, I just don't. I don't. But every time I've seen Williams on my fucking TV,
he's touching refs. He's yelling at refs.
Yeah, he's bitching the whole time. He's very irritating to watch. He's very irritating to watch. I'll tell you what, though, man. He can shoot the 3 pretty well. He's got a good stroke on that shot. You know, he provides a pretty big need for that team right now, especially with missing Robert Williams. You know, I mean, he's really helping out there.
Bulls had a little bit of a clear advantage on the glass tonight. Drummond grabbed 13 boards in under 15 minutes.
Drummond had 12 boards in 13 minutes. The Bulls as a team had 51 rebounds to Boston's 38.
Well, Boston was chucking up a lot of threes, and luckily we were grabbing them, which isn't something that we can say every night so far this season, because giving up offensive rebounds does seem to be a problem that we still have despite the acquisition of Drummond, because outside of him and Vooch, we really don't have consistent rebounders.
Right.
But that was big tonight. Wish Vooch would have taken advantage of some of these mismatches a little bit more.
Yeah, that was
Obviously,
so odd.
It is. I mean, when you get the ball on the block and you got Derek White, Sam Hauser, like, how are you not going to eat? And I mean, there were several times tonight that he did also take advantage, and, you know, you can't pass yourself the ball in the post, but you got to want it down there. And when you got Hauser on her, you got to hose that dude.
Yeah, you got to force your will at some point with your teammates and be like, come on, man. Because there was 1 or 2 times they did not get him the ball where they brought him back out. DeMar did it to him once, but then DeMar finished at the rim and got the points anyway. So it's just kind of like, do you take the smarter shot or you let DeMar do DeMar things? It's if the ball goes in, we don't think about it, right? But
right,
I'm with you.
Don't question it when he scores.
Right, but I'm with you, man. I don't get why he just doesn't give me the fucking ball. Remember when Bynum used to do that? Give me the fucking ball. Andrew Bynum when he was playing for the Lakers. That's why Vooch do that. Like,
it's nights like tonight where you clearly have the advantage, whether it's just your natural matchup with Horford or it's these smaller guards that end up on you in the post. You got to make these teams pay. Because that was the clear advantage that the Bulls had tonight was down low with him. So to see him finish with less than 15, 20 points is discouraging, but that's just being nitpicky because we did get the second win of the year against the Boston Celtics, which is pretty cool to say considering they have been the hottest team in basketball all year.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and Vooch went 6 for 7 tonight.
So very efficient, just not assertive enough.
Yeah, just 12 points, 13 boards, 6 assists for Vooch. I got to bring him up. Got to talk about him. Patrick Williams tonight, 6 for 9. So again, I mean, it's the typical under 10 shots attempted for him, but everybody was, popping chubs because he had 17 points. Hit a couple threes.
Season high. Well, and to start the game, it was horrible because he started with an offensive foul and then he bricked a 3, and I was like, oh god, get Javante in the game, and then he hit a 3,
and then he hit
another one. And then he kind of got forced into that matchup with Tatum late in the shot clock, and he hit that mid-range fader, and that was clean. But you want to see it more from him when he's not being forced into it, where you go to
just do it.
Just do it instead of being forced by 3 seconds being on the clock into having to make the move. But no, Pat played a good game. Outside of the initial rocky start in like the first minute of the game that had me going, not again. He really did come to life and provide this team with the spark that they needed.
That behind the back move and that pull up at the end of the shot clock that he drained, I was like, God, I mean, dude. I know I rag on him.
Of that, like what? Why did we not see more of it?
Yeah, like that was pretty dope. I gotta say,
Tatum's not a slouch of a defender by any means.
Oh no, he played some pretty good defense. I was kind of shocked that Boston shot 38 for 87 for 43% tonight. 19 for 50 from downtown for 38%, and they only got to the free throw line 17 times, and they only hit 12 of them, 70% from the line. They just did not have a good overall shooting night in general, but the Bull that could be attributed to some of the Bulls' defense.
That if you chuck up 50, that you only have to hit 19 to almost come out to 40%. I get 20 would be exactly that. That's pretty simple math, but that's just chuck them up, see what happens. Like
we only took 29. We took 29, but we hit 14 of them for 48.3%. We shot 46 for 89 for 51.7%. We went 15 for 20 from the free throw line, 75%.
And Vooch seemed to struggle a little bit there tonight again too. So he's going to need DeMar to grab him and take him out onto the floor and do some free throw routines before they go home tonight, because got to have Vooch with that confidence back at the line. He's a free throw shooter. Those are easy points for him with his touch. So got to get his mind right there. I'm sure after blowing 2 and costing the game, he's a little in his head at the moment.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Caruso gave us some great minutes, almost played 30 minutes tonight at 29 minutes for him, 10 points, 4 steals, 4 assists. Caruso, I think this might have been his best game of the season.
Fair. And it was kind of quiet. Like, it wasn't super loud.
Yeah.
As where Io had not so exciting a stat line defensively, but had another great stat line, the Boston Destroyer there. I was listening to the opposing broadcast like usual, and Scalabrini was having a great time reminding me that until Io missed that 3 tonight, he had made every single 3-point attempt against Boston, and he's shooting around like 83% field goal against this team. He's just destroying them.
Yeah, they contained him pretty well for the most part, but I was on a little bit of an offensive slide as of late. But hey, he finished 5 for 8. He's plus 16 in the plus minus if you like that kind of thing. I only like it when it fits my narrative. But I mean, he played an all right game. I did see some crazy shit though today, man. When he started off the game struggling, yeah, people fucking saying to bench him for Kobe. I was just kind of like, really? I'm like,
no. We've learned that you cannot put that many negative defenders on the floor at once, especially if Pat is your only positive defender in sight, because Pat isn't always a positive defender. So no. You're leaving Io out there. You're going to leave the balance. It's nice to see that Kobe is back. Got a little bit of that swag tonight.
He did.
Played a little bit better. Took a couple of shots that I didn't like, but you at least got the energy and the pop from him that you needed off the bench, especially when we saw Dragic go down and had a scary moment where we thought we might be without him for a little while.
Right. What did you think about that Kobe White pull-up transition 3? Did you yell at the T? I did. I know that would have that would have blew the roof off the United Center, and I get it for like a momentum team heat check type thing, but Boston was inching closer and closer at times, and I was just like, man, you had numbers, like you had people coming, you had Io right behind you.
There was a couple fast break possessions tonight where I feel like we really kind of messed up, where we had the numbers and the advantage, and we kind of just completely botched it. I yelled at the screen as you did, but at the same time, in this league, that's a good shot. That's what you want. If you get a wide open look from 3, I know it goes against everything we grew up watching with basketball, but in this league, that is a good shot. So
you're probably not wrong. I guess I can never. You've accepted it. You've been able to adapt and move forward. I'm stuck in the past.
I've accepted it for the same reason that you accept that plus minus is a thing, and you only like it when it fits your narrative.
Right.
I like wide open transition 3s with numbers when they go in. So obviously, I hated this one, but when they go in, it's one of the greatest feelings in basketball. So
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So it's one of those ride or die, and we died on that one, and we all screamed at Kobe, but you kind of just live with it.
Yeah, you got to live with it. Zach LaVine, 8 for 20, 5 for 10. Only got to the free throw line twice, which I do find a little bit of bullshit tonight, especially tonight. He got bounced around like a pinball. And a couple times I thought that was a little ridiculous that he didn't get to the line a little bit more. And I'm really trying not to be biased about it because he pissed me off last game. But he really did get fouled more than he was.
No, well, we touched on it earlier. This was one of the first games in a long time that we've seen him try to fight through the contact as opposed to consistently avoiding it. It's hard to give him the whistle when he's being so feathery and smooth and elusive around the defender instead of just going straight through them with his athleticism. And we saw more of that tonight, and he wasn't rewarded. And that sucks. But at the same time, you do have to go to that consistently if you want the respect of the referees on those kind of calls. So hopefully he builds on that aggressive approach tonight, and he does start getting those calls going forward, because there were definitely a few times tonight that he should have gotten the whistle.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. He finishes with 22, 5 and 5. 2 steals. He did have 3 turnovers. He also had 5 personal fouls. Wow, I didn't realize he had 5 personal fouls like that. I know he was starting to get up there, but we got to talk about this, man. We've touched on the game, besides Tatum and Brown fucking kind of cooking us, everybody else besides Brogdon. Brogdon was up there with those guys too, man. He is such an awesome piece coming off their bench. He's
just floating around out there, makes the right plays. He's really like Alonzo Ball for them to a lesser degree. And to add something like that in Boston is scary for every team in the NBA.
Yeah, absolutely. Al Horford, I felt bad watching him tonight. I saw his age tonight, man. I saw his age tonight.
Shoot a lick tonight.
Yeah, 0 for 9. 0 for 7 from downtown. Yeah.
I knew the 3-point shooting was bad. I didn't know that he didn't make a shot.
Yeah, he didn't make a shot. No, he was pretty bad tonight. But back to Zach and everything that went down over the last couple of days. So the Bulls haven't played since it was Friday, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Friday night. And obviously we did our episode, and Zach was benched. And he did not come back in on the fourth quarter. He said that Billy had to, lay with the decisions that he made. He made a couple comments that I felt like were like, whoa, okay, like there's got to be something going on here. But also Zach didn't really take any accountability for how poorly he played. With all of that being said, like I told you the night of that show, yes, Zach played bad, but I would have had him in, offensively in that last possession that we had offensively. I would have had him in. They made comments to the press, in the days after the initial comments from Zach, and Zach says, we're all good. Billy says it was just it was a moment where I rode the hot hand and he was on the bench for that moment. Everything's fine. They're all good. Do you think there's anything that really went into that?
So I guess I want to start by saying this. I don't think either Billy or Zach are wrong in this situation. From your star player, you don't want the demeanor of, the coach was right. I should have been sitting. I really didn't deserve to be in the game. Like, no, you do not want your star player to have that. Your max player that you're looking to have for the next 5 years should never have that kind of mentality come out of their mouth outwardly to the press. But the same goes for Billy. Like, he has to stand by the fact that he was doing what he thought was best for this team. And by all visual appearances, Zach was probably more likely to shoot this team out of the game further by trying to get himself out of the selfishly and going into that hero ball mode than he was to actually successfully pull this team back in. But given the limited shooting options and offensive options on this team, you can easily argue that that was not the right decision. And the message that sends outwardly is kind of scary, because he would never do that to DeMar DeRozan. And DeMar's not your max player. But you ain't benching DeMar DeRozan to close the game. I don't care how poorly he shot prior to that, because he's a closer, and he's been a closer. I don't know that Zach's earned that, though. So all around, I see both sides of the story. I definitely think our buddy Joe hit the nail on the head when he said that Billy and Zach had a mini conversation before going out to the press, which
to
is
get their stories straight. You talking about
their
that?
Stories straight.
Yeah.
So very much feel that was a coordinated, orchestrated press event. I'm sure there's still some animosity there. We saw it in Zach's play tonight, which was a good thing. So maybe this is something the team needed. I don't think we're going to start singing the Contender song again yet, but to beat the best team in basketball after what we watched the last several games, it definitely feels good, and I think it'll allow the team to leave that drama behind.
Yeah, I really hope so. I'm just glad that Zach came out aggressive tonight after that benching, whatever you want to call it, and at least tried to really implement himself in the game. And then if the shot wasn't falling, he adopted another facet of the game, like in the defense, really fucking went out there to try to make some shit happen. So I really appreciate that. One more thing I got on Zach LaVine, Goose. He just tied Ben Gordon, 770 3-pointers made, All time for the Bulls, he is now tied for number 2. Do you know who number 1 is?
I know who it is, but I don't want to say his name because I know you want to say his name. So I'm gonna let you drop it.
It's none other than Kirk fucking Heinrich. Okay, so all right, and Kirk's got 1,049.
All right, so Zach's got another 2 or 3 years out of this contract before he.
I would say 2 years. He's gonna have to. Yeah, 2 years. He'll probably catch Kirky. But I'm hoping Kirk comes out of retirement and just hits a couple more. So that's what I'm hoping for. I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, Dragic's out there doing it.
Dragic is out there doing it. Why can't Kirk? So next game we got on the books, Goose, is Wednesday night. No basketball on Thanksgiving. I hate that.
I mean, I get it's always been a football-dominated holiday, but that's a little whack.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. It makes me very upset. But
that's whack because basketball is my American pastime. That's my game.
Right.
I mean, I love football. Don't get me wrong.
I love football too, but I want basketball too. I want it all. I'm selfish. I want to be full as hell, and I want to watch sports. That's all I want to do. You know, I'd like a mixture of the two. But yeah, we have we've got the Bulls on Wednesday starting their road trip against Milwaukee. Milwaukee's been very good, as you know. That's a tough game for the Bulls.
You know what? You just got to bring out a couple of ladders and put them on the floor. And see if that's enough of a distraction to take Giannis out of the game. Yeah,
no shit, man. I mean, I'll tell you what, Milwaukee's been playing some good ball. The Bulls, them winning the game tonight was actually really big.
Huge.
I know the schedule is rough, moving forward for a little bit, especially with this road trip. But man, if they would have lost this one at home and then had to deal with Milwaukee right off the bat, that would be fucked, man.
Yeah, I mean, at least the road trip, starts off with a short little journey. It's probably good to still sleep in your own bed, at least until, the emergence of Giannis. That used to be kind of like our home away from home. So,
right.
Not quite the case in their current contender run here. And they really do look like it's crazy how it flipped. LeBron went to the West, and then the West just
what the shit?
And I won't go that far because you still got, great teams out there. But
you have some good teams, but I feel like the East is more dominant now.
It does feel that way. Because between Boston and Milwaukee, obviously Boston has had the better record at this point. But I think Milwaukee, because they're playing without Middleton right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you're playing without your second best player, and you're still looking that dominant. It's not a team that. Hopefully the Bulls come in with the same urgency as I guess what I'm leading up to here that they came in with tonight because they're going to need it. You got to play like you're fighting for your lives.
Yeah, you're going to need another big defensive game out of everybody too again. Same thing that you tried to do to Boston tonight. You got to you can't contain Giannis. We both know that. We've said that before on the show, but you can't let everybody else beat you. You literally have to have Giannis try to beat you.
We didn't draft a Giannis stopper. And Pat, what are you talking about?
Oh, my God. Here we go. We gave him his props, but I'm going to start talking shit. He ain't stopping nothing. God, Giannis is a freak, dude. That's the coolest thing about League Pass is, I check out these teams within our division pretty consistently. And Giannis is just so stupid to watch. I don't understand what I'm watching when I'm watching. If he should have been the MVP. No one's better than him in the league, I don't think. I mean, he doesn't shoot a fucking three, but he comes out and he just drops 40 like it's nothing. The guy can't shoot free throws worth a lick either. He's out here still dropping 40. No fucking problem. It's unreal, dude. You know what he did the other night against Portland? And Portland's been playing great. Mm-hmm. I know they went on a little bit of a slide there, but he goes 16 for 24. Only made 5 out of 12 free throws, 37 points.
So what you're saying is this guy could average 45 points a game if he could just hit some fucking free throws?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's fucking nuts. I don't understand. It's like he's a video game guy.
All right. Costas, you're up. Let's go. Getting called up.
Shit, right? You know what? You want to talk about some mind fuckery? If I'm Billy, that's who I'm throwing on Giannis right away.
You know what? That wouldn't be too bad of an idea.
Yeah, because he's not going to try to body his brother.
Sorry, Pat, but for tonight, we're going with the two-way guy.
Yeah, he's not going to try to body his brother.
We're going with mental warfare.
Yeah, exactly what you play. You fuck with his mind right away. Mind games. So right off the bat, if Billy did that, I find respect for Billy. I already like Billy. I'd like him more.
Yeah, just put his brother out there and have him hack the shit out of him for the first.
You don't want Giannis to beat his brother so bad that his brother falls out
to
the roof.
halftime and you're not fouled out yet, we got a problem.
If Giannis doesn't have 2 black eyes, you're cut tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well, that's all I got for tonight, man. You got anything else before we get out of here?
No, just the fact that the team played really well to hold a lead with Zach and DeMar struggling early. To carry the game to the end, to kind of let them finish, was nice to see. To get a full team effort against the best team in the league when you needed it the most. The team did respond, and that's what we needed as fans, because I know we were about to take a cold dip in Lake Michigan and maybe not come out. So we got that W. Hopefully we can do something positive in Milwaukee and at least not embarrass ourselves, and then take advantage of those few OKC style games that we'll have mixed in between.
No, absolutely. So we will be back Wednesday when the Bulls take on Milwaukee, and that's Black Wednesday because Thursday is Thanksgiving. So I think that we should have a couple beers on the show, and anybody who wants to join us for Black Wednesday, just let us know. Maybe you can hop on the post game with us, hop in the comments, like whatever you want to do, even get on camera.
If I'm honest with you, I might have to do that one from a bar because I think my coworkers want to go out for Blackout Wednesday.
Let's do it.
So I might have to watch from the bar and then just record on the phone.
We could always do that. You'll be at the bar and I'll be here in the basement because that's where you'll find me. So
we'll be cracking them either way.
Either way. So join us on Wednesday after the Bulls take on the Bucks. Be sure to go on tapsportsnet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter and subscribing to the YouTube. We'll see y'all Wednesday.